Well, good morning. Welcome to Up to the Minute. I'm Todd Duplantis, and it's good to have you on this Wednesday. Glad to see everyone made it through the Mardi Gras yesterday. Pretty crazy in New Orleans, but here in Houston, it was pretty tame, I have to say. My co-host this morning is Dr. Melissa Miller-Waters. Good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning. Good to see you too.
I want to congratulate you because you've got a new title. You want to tell us your new title? It seems like when people get titles here at HCC, do they go for like the longest titles they can find?
Yes, absolutely. It is a race. My new title is Director of Accreditation, Evaluation, and Planning. And I'm really excited to serve in this area. This is the position that Judy Cantwell had before she left HCC.
Well, congratulations to you on this new position. We're excited for you. So big congrats on that. I want to thank you for being here with us today. And I want to thank all of you for watching us on Facebook Live and YouTube. We're here just about every morning that HCC is in session live at 10 a.m. And Melissa, they can also catch us in social media and on HCCTV as well daily.
Correct. Yes, we are.
We're on Facebook and we're listed as Houston Community College District. There's a lot of HCCs out there, but you'll see our programming as Houston Community College District. And we're on HCCTV at noon, 5 and 10 p.m. So Melissa, you're going to be congratulating a special recipient of an award just announced by the Chancellor. We're joined now by Anamaria Lopez. She is the Interim Dean of Student Success at HCC Southwest College, but also a League of Innovation Excellence Award recipient. Anamaria, good morning.
Good morning, Todd.
Thank you for joining us. Congrats to you as well. We're looking forward to hearing all about this very shortly. So Melissa's going to be with you in about 10 minutes.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to kick things off in honor of Black History Month. We're excited to have two important guests who are about to give a presentation about the search for slave ships. Dr. Helen Graham is the Dean of HCC's Liberal Arts, Humanities, and Education programs. And Kamau Sadiki is the board member and lead instructor with Diving with a Purpose. And you're presenting today, Kamau. First off, welcome to both of you. Thank you both for being here. But Kamau, tell us a bit about Diving with a Purpose. Tell us about the organization and your mission.
Sure. Thank you, Todd. It's a great pleasure to be here with you this morning. Yeah, Diving with a Purpose is a nonprofit organization that got started back in 2003. And we focus primarily on training certified divers to do underwater archaeology and also some coral reef restorations. But we have a particular niche that is, there were some 12,000 vessels involved in the transatlantic era of African enslavement, but we only know about 15 of those. And so we're making it our mission to find as many of those vessels as we can and tell the incredible stories that they have to tell, bring it back into our memories.
In your presentation today, I understand you'll be talking about discussing two particular ships. Maybe you can tell us about that.
Sure, yeah. One is called the Sao Suze Paquette de Africa. It's off the coast of Cape Town, South Africa. And it is the only one that's been found so far out of those 12,000 vessels that actually had individuals on it that drowned. It was 212 in that case. But more importantly, for us here in the U.S., we located a ship in the Mobile River called the Clotilda. And what's important for all of us is that it was the last vessel that brought captured Africans into the U.S. It was 110 individuals on that vessel. And what's most significant about that is we have a descendant community that still exists that's been struggling over the last 162 plus years to survive, but they're still there and the descendants are still there, and we're trying to help them tell their story.
Helen, welcome to the show, and it's always good to see you. Tell us a bit about why this is important for us as a society to remember what you call a horrific part of our history.
Right. This is really important for us to remember, not just African Americans, but everyone in general. Number one, no one wants to be forgotten. And for hundreds of years, these individuals have been forgotten. With the ships going down, they've been lost. They've been lost to history. They've been lost to their families. It's ever so important for individuals to understand who they are and where they came from. And the work that Dr. Sadiki is doing will help bring all of that to light.
What can you tell us about the Africa Town and Clotilda story?
Yeah, sure, Todd. We found the vessel, confirmed that it was where it's located it was already known. The family that did this illicit deed back in 1860 knew where it was all along. But we located in 2019 and say, yes, this is the Clotilda. And the descendant community got very excited. But as I mentioned earlier, over those 162 years, this community has suffered tremendously from environmental racism, economic racism, and so forth. And so it went from a thriving community in the 1950s of about 14,000 people, now only about 2,000 currently exists. There's heavy industry that's actually encirculated the community, and all sort of pollutants has been dropped on that community. So we're trying to help them create some economic tourism benefits with this discovery and this tremendous artifact that we've located. And we're working to put together a strategy to make sure they receive benefits from that.
You know, archaeology fascinates me. I'm not an archaeologist, but here, this may sound like a dumb question, but are you documenting as you and the divers are going down in, are you retrieving artifacts? Are you documenting them? Is it better to, since they're encapsulated in water, is it better to leave them down there, document them, or can you retrieve them and safely bring them up and try to restore them?
Yeah, it's very important, Tar, to leave them in place. There's something about the power of place, what we call in situ. And so we document them in situ. If there's any disturbance of those artifacts, we sort of take them out of context. We can't really tell, well, this ended up here. Why did it end up here? And so if it's moved out of that context, it's difficult for us to tell the story. And in the case of the Clotilda, it's a very fragile wreck. It was a wooden vessel. And you can imagine over 162 years in the murky waters of the Mobile River, there's been some deterioration, but it's out of those 12,000 vessels I mentioned earlier, it is the only vessel in the historical record that we can actually see the outline of the ship. More importantly, we see the actual hold, the space, the cargo hold, where the 110 individuals experienced this horrible crossing of the Atlantic. So nothing like that in historical record exists. So we want to preserve that in situ where it is as long as we can.
Is there a way in the future where you can, is the thought maybe that you can take people out to this location on the river and show them from, maybe another vessel what this is all about? Is that maybe something that'll happen in the future?
Absolutely, Todd. That's part of the ecotourism sort of strategy we're thinking about. Actually, on July 8th, a small museum is going to open up in Africa Town called the Heritage House. July 8th is significant because that was July 8th, 1860 that they landed in Mobile. And so once that is done, we're going to take people up to the site and be able to view the site from Africa Town and bring them back to tell the story. And there's discussions about possibly building a 2-scale replica of the Clotilda to have that in Africa Town. And we're going to have some of the artifacts that we only take a few off to help tell the story. Is going to put them into that little small museum in Africa Town so people can see and again enhance the narrative about the Clotilda.
How did you get, as a diver, how did you get working with slave ships and shipwrecks? I mean, was that something that always interested you, or how did that come about?
Yeah, sure. I've always been a student of history, particularly African-American history, but I had an incredible dive instructor. His name is Dr. Albert Jose Jones, African-American marine biologist, the only African-American that's been inducted into the International Divers Hall of Fame. So he taught me how to dive, and then he said, hey, man, you know, there's this great organization that needs some help. It was only about a year old then. He helped conceive it. He said, why don't you go check him out? I did, and as they say, the rest is history.
The rest is history. I would imagine the Mobile River is a well-traveled river, but I would imagine this area now literally is sacred ground. Is there a movement to keep boats and ships away from the location now? Is that possible?
Oh yeah, good point, Todd. Yeah, we consider all these shipwrecks as very, very sacred, particularly because of the loss of life. In this particular area of the Mobile River, actually it is off channel. The Corps of Engineers maintains a channel along the Mobile River, but it's around an island called 12 Mile Island. So the easterly side of the island was used over the years as a dumping ground for old derelict vessels. And that's actually where the folks that perpetrated this crime tied up the Clotilda and tried to burn it. Before it completely was consumed, it actually sunk into the Mobile River where it lies now. So there's a lot of derelict vessels along that stretch of the river, and the Clotilda is one of many that's laying along that stretch.
Has there ever been any interest from like the History Channel or any documentary, or, you know, to make a documentary on this? Because quite honestly, it's a fascinating story that needs to be told.
Absolutely. Yeah. National Geographic have jumped on it big time.
Great.
They've done several small snippets and one significant documentary of it. So if you can go to Nat Geo and Google Clotilda, you can see some of those. But more importantly, back in October, a movie starts streaming on Netflix called Descendant. It's called Descendant, and it tells the story of that descendant community and the story of Clotilda. I encourage everyone to view that documentary. It's streaming on Netflix right now.
But most importantly, today, your presentation is at our Missouri City campus, and it's on at 11 a.m., correct?
That's correct. Yeah. Hope to see you.
It is a fascinating story. Dr. Helen Graham, Dean of HCC's Liberal Arts, Humanities, and Education. Thank you for being here. Always great to see you. And Kamau Sadiki, we really appreciate you joining us as well. It's some fantastic work. It's fascinating. And we really appreciate you being here this morning.
Thank you, Todd. I appreciate the opportunity to talk with you.
All right. Y'all have a good morning.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
And we're going to have all the information, everything he was talking about in the event today in our social media post after the show. All right, we're going to turn things over right now to Dr. Melissa Miller Waters, and you have got a special guest with a congratulations you're going to talk to as well. Anamaria Lopez. Anamaria, are you there?
Yes, I'm here,
There
Todd.
she is. All right, take it away, Melissa.
Thank you so much, Anamaria Lopez, for being with us today. You serve as the interim dean of student success at HCC Southwest, and we are so happy to have you back on the show and excited to discuss with you about your being a National League of Innovation Excellence Award recipient. You and 4 others are going to receive your awards during an upcoming conference in Tempe, Arizona. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yes, this upcoming March, in a few weeks from now.
That's so great. Congratulations. Before we jump into your award, can you tell us a little bit about your own deep journey and experience with HCC?
Yes, of course. So my journey at HCC started about 20 years ago as a first-generation college student. I had not perfected the English language. I originally from Mexico. That's where I grew up. And so I started my education here at HCC because I was unaware of all the processes and preparation that needed for me to go to a four-year institution. And I did not have that support from my parents. So I enrolled here at HCC, and throughout driving or going through the processes, I learned about work study and became a work study student in the financial aid office. That gave me a lot of experience. It actually I found my passion there, which is helping students that were in similar situation like me, where they were newly into the country or first-gen students in general. And that's where I gained my passion from, working in education. And then I continue growing within the institution. I've been fortunate to hold different positions, and now interim dean of student services at Southwest College.
I mean, that is so amazing that your own experience informs the work that you do now. It's just amazing.
Yes, yes. Like I said, I love what I do, and I love helping our students and our community and everyone that I work around with.
That is so great. What can you tell us about the League Excellence Leadership Award and your nomination for this fantastic award?
Yes, so this is the League of Innovation Award. It's given to those that are it's an award that celebrates innovation. It celebrates those faculty members, staff members, and leadership members in community colleges across the country. What's special about this award is that this award, you get nominated by your peers. So I think that gives it an extra an extra special recognition because it's your peers nominating you for it.
Absolutely. That is quite a show of appreciation and respect by the people that you work with.
Yes.
And it sounds to me like one of the things that made your nomination stand out was all of the collaborated efforts that you undertook during the pandemic to help provide support for our students. Can you tell us a little bit about those efforts?
Yes, and I would say one of the things that I think it's my commitment to collaboration. A lot of those efforts, I was not able to undertake them on my own, but it's a collaboration with the different work groups around the district, especially the enrollment services work group, where we work together into building processes for our students to be able to complete certain admissions and enrollment processes, everything online, something that we never thought before it could happen. It took place during the pandemic. So we move a lot of our processes online. One of the other efforts that I participated in during the pandemic was the Zoom lobby, which we also receive a recognition for it, as you probably heard during the convocation. So it's again, use that collaboration piece and finding ways to improve the processes for our students and eliminate any barriers or reduce any barriers for them.
Yeah, I think that those online and virtual support services are so important. Have you noticed that students are still using the online virtual services even now that we're back out and about?
Yes, those everything that we created, it's still in use, including the virtual lobby, which is going to become institutionalized soon. And we'll have a one college platform with a virtual lobby.
That's so great. That's so great. I know that another initiative that you've been involved in over at HCC Southwest is the Innovative AI program. Can you tell us a little bit about that program?
Yes, of course. So this is a first for Houston Community College. Actually, it's a first for the nation. So Houston Community College will be the first in the nation to have a bachelor's degree in artificial intelligence and robotics. Our program will begin this fall semester, and students are gonna be able to complete the Bachelor's of Applied Science and Artificial Intelligence and Robotics. It's a very robust program that that our students that currently or recent graduates with the Artificial Intelligence associate's degree, which is also a first, whoever completed that program, it's going to be able to enroll into the bachelor's degree automatically. So we're very excited about the program. There's almost every industry has artificial intelligence as part of their program, in the energy and the healthcare, transportation. I mean, now within the transportation department, we even have simulations. Even at our Northeast campus, there's a simulator where our students are actually learning how to drive the truck using a simulator, as well as with our regular trucks. But it's a we're very excited about this program, and it's a very easy process for them to enroll. It's the same admissions process that we currently have. There's not going to be any additional applications. They just have to be that first requirement or main requirement is that they have completed an associate's degree or the coursework that the associate degree in artificial intelligence has.
That is fantastic. So these students could get this degree and work in practically any industry, is what I'm hearing.
Yes, they can get a degree, work in any industry. And as you know, it's a high demand industry for this type of technology at this time, and it's gonna continue to grow. So it's a high growth, high demand career.
That is so great. Are there any upcoming activities for students at Southwest College that you'd like to tell us about today?
Yes, so as you heard earlier, we'll have a conversation regarding Black History Month over at the Mystery City. We also been having a lot of Black History events, so we're gonna be wrapping that within the next few weeks. But in April, we're having a annual spring fling at both of our locations. This is a time for our students to come in, have fun, unwind, and also for our programs to come out and provide information regarding their programs. So we're looking forward for those events.
Yes, thank you so much, Anamaria Lopez, serving as the Interim Dean of Student Success at HCC Southwest and the League of Innovation Excellent Award recipient. Thank you so much. We'll have all of your information in our post after the show so people can look it up.
Thank you.
All right, thank you both. And we got a few announcements to go through. Earlier, of course, our two guests, we were talking about Whispers from the Waters. It is a presentation that's happening today. In fact, 11 a.m. out there at the Missouri City campus. Today, as we mentioned with our guests, HCC will offer a special presentation connecting ancestral memory through the history and archaeology of two slave ship wrecks. On the day-long schedule at 11 a.m., presentation at the Missouri City campus. 1:30 today, there is the Sugarland 95 tour that's happening on University Boulevard. And 6 p.m. tonight, there's a dinner at Michaud's Southern Cuisine. All that's happening today. So make sure you check it out. We'll have some information in our post after the show. And attendees are recommended to watch Descendant. The movie's called Descendant, and it's on Netflix prior to attending the event. That's going to give you a lot of information. We'll have information in our post after the show about that as well. And there's also another university campus visit coming up, Melissa.
Yes, HCC Northeast Northline campus is hosting a one more visit with students about transfer opportunities. It's tomorrow from 10 to noon, Thursday, and the university is Grand Canyon University. So check our post after the show for an email about more information.
Okay, Healthy Relationship Scholarship. That's right. You can earn $500. HCC's counseling services, faculty and OIE are offering 2 healthy relationship scholarships. Qualifying HCC students can share their love for art or prose by writing a 500-word essay or creating any piece of art. Their deadline to turn in the essay or artwork is Sunday, April the 9th. You could get $500 out of it. Check our post for the email for submissions. Also, there is something going on with the Creative Writing Club as well.
Yes, Vocable, which is a journal of arts and writing, and it's hosted by the Creative Writing Club, and they are looking for the best fiction, creative nonfiction, poetry, artwork, scripts, comics, whatever wonderful things students are doing. You are welcome to submit those to Vocable, which is a journal of arts and writing. The submissions are open until March 23rd, so you have some time. To learn more, we'll have a link in our post after the show.
There's a faculty exhibition, which seems a little bit fascinating. Katherine Fields, she's been on the show many times. She'll be talking about her works from her summer 2022 sabbatical in Greece. Professor Fields displays techniques created from her travels to Athens, Delphi, and Crete. It's happening through April the 6th at the HCC Fine Arts Gallery at our central campus. It's free, of course. Registration's not necessary. Everyone's welcome. We'll have some information on that in our post after the show. And Melissa, you know, students now, Second Start is still underway, but students do have the means, or they have the time to get some credit hours in. They're going to be accelerated courses, but they can still sign up for classes.
That is right. And even though Second Start has begun, there are some second 8-week courses that are still open. So all of these courses are offered in person and online. You can do online anytime, which has no established class meeting times, online on a schedule in which the meeting time is set, but the course meets online. There's also hybrid, face-to-face and part virtually at the same time, in-person, face-to-face courses that people are interested in and already know about. And we have hybrid lab, which are laboratory and studio courses. To learn more about HCC programs, start dates, and options to cover costs, go to hccs.edu/apply.
Okay, so tomorrow on the show, it's Thursday Family Fun Day, and get ready for the Chess Fest. That's happening in Sugarland this weekend. We'll talk with a guest about that. And we'll be featuring upcoming programs from our Center of Entrepreneurship. And I believe Sade will be here with Parrish as the host tomorrow for the show. Melissa, it's always good to see you. Thanks for being here, and congrats once again on the new position.
Thank you. And thank you, Todd, for having me.
Absolutely. And thanks to all of you for being here. We're live again tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. for Up to the Minute.